Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shaitan Windaliso, and welcome to this month's webinar on the accounts payable process in SAP S for Cloud. Basically, what we are looking at today is how SAP treats the AP payable process. That's the account payable processes, right? From invoice to pay. Just to put a bit of disclaimer, from here we are not really going to go into the procurement process, where we are talking about the purchase order or the goods receipts delivery. Our focus for today is just how SAP treats the supplier invoice parts, right? So basically, from the finance point of view, how the account payables process work. That is what we are going to be talking about. So this webinar is in two sections. The first one is where I come in and I show us, like I will do in a few minutes, a bit of how the system treats all these processes, explain it with the process flow, right? And then the second part of the demo is when my colleague Marufa will come up and she will take us through the interactive demo just to have a look and feel of how the system is. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to go into the webinar in depth. What we're going to look at today, like I mentioned earlier, is source to pay with a focus on invoice and payment. And here we are going to talk about touchless invoice processes and payment. We're going to talk about, how the system treats all these processes from create and manage supply invoice to where you process account payable, you manage payable finances. We talk about the payment itself, where you process it. You manage bank communication, and then you manage working capital. Okay. So we have some business challenges. We know AP process comes with its own business challenges, and some are what we have listed here: the paperwork and lack of automation. The tax regulations are changing. Withholding tax is this percent, is this percent. VAT has changed, and for some industries, they have what is like the local content 1%. All those things, they are like changing tax regulations, right? And there's also lack of access to working capital, which makes it harder to meet up with your liabilities, okay? And then missed early payment and a lower chance of capturing pre-negotiated discounts. When there is lack of access to working capital, you miss early payment, and let's say the vendor has given you a discount based on how early you pay. Let's say if you pay within 10 days of receiving the invoice, you have 10%, 20% off of the total invoice. But, because of one reason or the other, you cannot make that payment at that day. Then you miss out on the discounts that has been pre-negotiated. And also poor user experience, low level of visibility. You are not even aware at all that there are some payments that needs to be done at a particular time. Okay. And then we have fragmented networks and channels and lack of trust in the relationship. So how does S4HANA bridge all those challenges and provide solution? So one of the things it does is to enable account payable teams to drive high volume of invoices through electronic channels and smart rules for automatic validation of submitted invoices. S4 helps to reduce errors, speed up processing, and ultimately take advantage of favorable working capital opportunities in discounting and supply chain finance. And it also helps to eliminate errors before they reach the AP department. Online supplier portals to answer account receivable status questions. Suppliers have real-time view of the status of invoice approvals and payments, and increase days payable outstanding. Earn more on short-term cash, deliver benefits to your supplier, and close the loop on procure to pay. So, right. So next we are going to be looking at the process details and highlights. Now, for S4, you create and manage supply invoice. And one thing SAP has is analytics embedded. In our prior webinar, one thing I kept on emphasizing is that there's hardly any touch points in S4 Cloud that there is no analytics embedded in it, right? So one thing that you have high assurance is analytics embedded into Accounts Payable. And then it helps to control open items and invoice processing, organize payable processing with high automation agreement, reconcile and clear down payments. Okay. So we have the process account payable. You can plan and run payments with multiple suppliers or invoices. The point where you're paying supplier one by one, you're paying this thing one by one. SAP helps you to plan and run payments with multiple suppliers and invoices. Okay, another thing it does is it improves cash forecast accuracy with a single source of payment and control cash discounts to optimize liquidity. It's very, very important. You want to optimize liquidity, and it also helps to control your cash discount. So you optimize the liquidity. And manage payable financing, right? Sometimes as a business, you have to take on loan to finance some of your payables, okay? And you want to, make sure that this is the right step at any point in time. And you also want to take into consideration, all the loans, liability, and other things that you need to take care of. So one thing SAP does is it reverse factoring a supply chain financing process, secure supply by providing liquidity to important suppliers, right? So at any point in time, there are some suppliers that you feel like, oh, okay, we can still move this payments forward. We need to pay this person very urgently, right? So SAP gives you that flexibility to really secure supply and, to just by providing liquidity to important supplier, very important. And it strengthens relationship with supplier. What strengthens your relationship with supplier? Suppliers are happy when they know that you are not owing, that you are reliable, right? Very important. That they know you will pay at when you should pay, and that your payable days are not unnecessarily long, right? That it will lose their trust. Okay, so yeah, one thing as for account payable process also helps you is that with these processes, it also helps to strengthen your relationship with your suppliers. All right, so let's look at still number 2. We're looking at payments and bank communication. The process allows you to optimize, monitor, and automate payments, set up and manage approval workflow. Very, very important. Domestic or international payments, including multiple suppliers, payment methods, or invoices. And when we talk about liquidity optimization, you control bank processes end to end. You have full visibility of bank accounts and related communication, and real-time bank channel for straight-through communication. Now, what this means is that from your SAP, you can trigger a payment to your bank account. Of course, there'll be maybe a touch point through either the SWIFT network, for example. I know in Nigeria here, we have other ones that we can use. So sorry, I can't think of one currently, but I know in Nigeria we have some other examples, some other options, if not Swift network. But yeah, what this does is you have easy communication with your bank through SAP. So your bank communicates with SAP directly, or SAP communicates with your bank directly. And yeah, this of course has to be set up. There can be approval. This is really dependent on the client. And then working capital management, fully integrated working capital analytics, it capture cash position and analyze cash flow instantly, and liquidity forecast based on projected payments. Yeah, so you can forecast the liquidity at a point in time based on the payments you have to make at any point in time. This really helps you to plan if you feel like, oh, okay, your liquidity will be quite low and you need to make some payments urgently, you are able to plan and make preparation adequately. All right, so on to the next, right? Let's look at invoice management. So invoice management is invoice processing, where you receive, validate, and approve supply invoice, your account payable process, optimize and simplify recording and managing account payable data from vendors. Payable financing, very important. It helps to strengthen relationship with important suppliers. Payment process helps to improve cash flow as well as working capital and pay invoices effectively. Payments and bank communication, centralized bank relationship management, and payment execution. And the payable analytics helps you to analyze supplier working capital or account payable status and outlook. Okay, so here we have machine learning supported automated reconciliation of open goods receipt and invoice receipt balances. The system helps you, machine learning is supported, and this means through repetitive pattern, the system can predict how reconciliation should happen, right? And this helps to save time. And you can see that it also helps to forecast cash position in real time to spot upcoming defeats or surplus in time, like I earlier explained. Okay, so yes, we have this processes again, and then we have some additional information. The business rules drive invoice accuracy and increase quality. Technology aids the process of capturing invoicing and making proper accounting assignment, machine learning automation for approval process. Suppliers have a real-time view of the status of invoice approval and payment. Buyers optimize working capital through payment term rationalization, early payment discounts, and payment channel choices, clearing of open item and matching or managing bank statements as efficient and automated as possible. Set up and configure payment proposal to plan payment runs that contain multiple payments, business partner or invoices. And lastly, your bank relationship management. All right. Okay, so another thing this helps is the goods receipt and invoice receipt reconciliation. Okay, so when you use the AP process and S4, it helps automate the reconciliation between received goods and supplier invoices. The goods has been received when you are doing the supplier invoices, there is this reconciliation that happens automatically. And this helps to minimize manual effort. You're not going to the journal and be matching and be doing debits and credits manually. This is just automatic, it's automated. And this helps to provide a streamlined, unified view for resolving discrepancies and maintaining clean financial record. This is very important because you want to make sure that the goods you received are what you pay for. And if there are differences, like there will be in some cases, I don't want to say most, but yeah, I know in some cases there are always differences between goods received and amounts paid. Then you are able to see that and make adequate should I say correction or adequate process that needs to be done. So key capabilities, automated matching of JIRA and IR open item, unified processes dashboard, it reduces manual intervention, and automated workflow and follow-up actions, like I said earlier. Okay, so going up, sorry, I think I've kind of lost where I was. Oh, okay. Yes, back to where I was talking about. Yeah, so let's talk about low touch invoicing, right? this helps to convert paper invoices, electronic invoicing, and invoicing, and helps to automatically send to the AP system with ML, which is OCR. OCR is optical character recognition. And where you take a picture of a receipt, the both scans and coming email to extract it and upload the invoices for you automatically. So S4, it allows you to create invoice either with or without reference to a purchase order. You can do verification check of correctness, adjust manually if needed. If need be, you can adjust what is scanned manually, and then you send the invoice for approval. You submit to account payable, and you make payments on the invoice. This really helps to save time, right? Because instead of you typing the invoice, doing all this one by one, let's say there are multiple invoices that needs to be cleared in a day, you just upload to the system, and the system scans and upload it automatically. And then you just check, do verification check, and you do approval if needed. Now, yeah. Okay. So this can be done through SAP Central Invoice Management, which is Ariba. Additional subscription for that. But yeah, it's one feature that SAP supports. So we can see SAP supports invoices from Ariba. You can upload invoices to S4 from Ariba. Central Invoice Management. It also supports advanced payment management, which has comprehensive cash and payment management, cloud-based advanced payments factory, sanction party list screening. It helps to screen. Maybe there are some vendors that are sanctioned, right? It helps you to screen them. Proactive payment lifecycle notification, flexible formatting, ISO conversion, digital payment option enabled, and automated corporate to bank connectivity. So also with Concur, right, for clients that are using Concur, there's also, of course, an end-to-end integration with Concur to make your invoice process seamless with S4 Cloud, right? And Talia Payables Financing, yeah, it helps with SAP helps with that. So outstanding trade receivables. This is where the meter factoring comes in and all that. So this is just a bit of, how the system looks like. I'm not really going to go into this because all these are what my colleague Marufat is going to talk about. But like I said, almost everywhere in SAP has a touch point of the analytics involved. So you can see analytics here that we have. She's still going to explain more on this. And so that is all from me. My major point was just to really give a brief overview of how SAP Cloud ERP helps you with your invoice to pay. Like I mentioned, we are not really talking about the procurement part, the purchase order, the goods receipts, invoice receipts, all those aspects. We are not talking about it, just on the invoicing itself and how SAP supports the invoice to payment process. Okay, so that is all from me. Thank you very much. And back to Marufat.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marifa Akonde. Thanks so much, Shaitan, for your input. So I will be working on the interactive value journey, the supplier invoice. So here we have the supplier invoice process. As we all know that many organizations can sometimes struggle with invoice and discrepancy, manual data entry, and delay in validating supplier documents. So with SAP S for HANA, it makes the process so automated, whereby you can whereby you can actually receive, verify, and record your invoices to ensure accurate records and timely payments. And also, it ensures that your business partner data and your invoices are accurate, right? So, start this. All right. So here we have um So here we have the payment aspects of it. Since my colleague had already talked about the invoice part, so this is the payment part, and here in SAP, this is what it looks like. As you can see, we have the managed payments. We have the managed payments, and here you can easily select the payments. Sorry, the invoices, the invoices that are due for payment here. So the account and payable accountant helps to review the supplier invoice here and also apply a payment block to prevent them processing while issues are being investigated, right? And here we also have down payment. So the system supports down payment where you can go to post outgoing payments to run your down payments. And after that, the system issues an ID, like a unique ID for your payments, right? All right, moving on, we also have the single outgoing payment. So the system also supports single outgoing payments where you can create your single payment and also select the invoice you want to pay on, right? The system support that. And here we have the supplier details. So here the system shows you the supplier details, and also it helps you to select the records that determine the banking instruction which will be used when the payment is executed. Also, we have the manual payments online, which is being also done through the post outgoing payments. So here, as you can see, we have the journal entry type. So this document helps to record the vendor payment posting, and you can use this reference to track payments or this reconciliation or follow-up investigation across finance process. All right, so we also have the manage automatic payments, so this is what it looks like. So here the system allows you to manage automatic payments. And here we have the manage automatic payments with AI exception analysis. We also have the manage requested payments. As you can see, we have this, and this is indicating that an outgoing payment transfer and how the payment transfer can help you to validate the payment against business expectation. Also, we have the online payments with free form format, and this is what it looks like. Yes, the system supports this as well. And here we have the manage outgoing check, which helps you to manage your outgoing check. Right, so you can record your actual clearing date, update cash position, and also it helps to support your bank reconciliation and determine when payment is officially completed. All right, and here we have the incorrect posting reset cleared item. So the system allows you to reset your cleared items through the clearing entry app. And once they are done with this, it also issue an ID, a unique ID to this particular document. All right, so we also have the manage guarantee received, same support manage guarantee received, and the entry is finalized in accounting. Any change must be made through reversal to maintain an auditable record. So that's all from my hand. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today on the accountable processes. All right, it's been a pleasure having anyone. If there's any question, you can ask us now or reach out to us on DM at How Trade Consulting Limited. Thank you. Bye bye.